Welcome to Exploitation Reviews, and me, Rob. Are you interested in exploitation films but don't quite know where to start? This video is for you. I've broken down exploitation / grindhouse cinema into 5 categories, and I've got 5 movies in each of those categories. That's 10 movies to get you started on your exploitation education. What? I know how to count my fingers. Blaxploitation, one of my favorite subcategories of grindhouse cinema. These movies are sometimes considered to be racist, but I think those criticisms are way wrong. But I don't want to get into a discussion of that. Instead, here are 5 movies to get you started. Number 1, Coffee. Well, if you've been watching this channel for any time at all, you know that I'm a big fan of revenge films, and here's a blaxploitation revenge film. Pam Grier plays Coffee, a nurse who decides to extract a little revenge from the drug pushers who put her little sister in the hospital. She's sexy, she's fierce, she's smart. She's Pam Grier. Number 2, Black Caesar. I love Fred Williamson, as you probably know if you've watched any of my blaxploitation film reviews. And here he's in an impressive piece of guerrilla filmmaking from director Larry Cohen. Number 3, Superfly. This is a fan favorite for good reason. Personally, I think the film suffers a little bit from being on the slow side, but it does have the very best soundtrack of any movie ever. Curtis Mayfield, genius. Number 4, The Spook Who Sat by the Door. This might actually be my favorite blaxploitation film. A really wonderful, subversive piece of cinema here. I can't say for sure, but it might have been an inspiration for Fight Club. And the last one, number 5, Coonskin, a Ralph Bakshi film, and the only animated blaxploitation film that there is, as far as I know. It's a vicious satire of Walt Disney's Song of the South. And while it's at it, it satirizes all kinds of other stuff too. Category number 2, horror, of the splattery variety. I won't say too much about these, you've probably already seen them. But horror films, particularly more violent, crazier horror films, were popular at the drive-ins and the grindhouses of the days of old. And here are 5 you definitely should check out. But before that, if you're interested in a little history of American horror film, check out the 2000 documentary An American Nightmare. It goes into a lot of great detail about what made horror films from this era different from the horror films that came before. Alright, well you definitely have to watch Night of the Living Dead, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Evil Dead, and Full Cheese Zombie. And also, I'm going to throw in a Herschel Gordon Lewis film and go with Gore Girls. I'm not really a big fan of Herschel Gordon Lewis. His films are, well, they're just terrible, but there's a certain charm to them. And he kind of invented, well, not kind of, he invented gore movies. I picked Gore Girls because it was his last one of the original ones that he did before he went on hiatus, and it has the best title. Next category, Sexploitation. Well, in this category we find those extreme films that a lot of people tend to shy away from, and I completely understand why people would shy away from them. But if you want to check out some early shocking films, I recommend these 5. Number 1, I Spit on Your Grave. This is a hard film to watch, I'm not going to lie about that. But it is a very interesting film, and I think it's much more feminist than it gets credit for. Number 2, Blood-Sucking Freaks. What a great title. This is an early, what we would today call torture porn film, and I don't particularly like torture porn, especially new ones. I do like this one though. And I think the reason I like this one is because it's obvious it's not being taken seriously. It's basically a comedy. Pretty effective one at that. Number 3, Fight for Your Life. This film has one of the most racist and vile characters ever on film, and it's worth watching just for that performance. The film's pretty cool anyway, but wow. This film made the UK's Video Nasties list for its language alone. That's pretty impressive. Number 4, Thriller, A Cruel Picture. I'm a bit torn on this one. I do like the movie. I think I like the movie more for its idea than its execution. As a film, it's flawed in significant ways. The action sequences are all in the slow-mo, and it just becomes kind of torturous to watch. But if you can get past that, there's some really, really interesting stuff going on in this movie. And, you know, I can see why it influenced people like Tarantino. Number 5, Last House on the Left. Ooh, this is a particularly nasty movie. But it's not nearly as nasty as you might think it is. But it has earned its reputation. Next category, Westerns. Notice I didn't say spaghetti Westerns. Typically when we think about Grindhouse Westerns, it's the spaghetti Westerns. But there were non-Italian Westerns at the time. And there's one of them on my list. Alright, well the first 3, you know what I'm going to say. You have to watch the Sergio Leone movies, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, A Fistful of Dollars, for a few dollars more. They're amazing, you know them, you love them. If you haven't seen them yet, you will know them, you will love them. Get to it. Number 4, Django. Not Django Unchained, although that movie's cool as hell too. No, the original, Django. And the last one, making his second appearance on my list, Fred Williamson in, well, actually I can't say the name of this movie. Let's say it's Boss something. Boss something. Fred Williamson is Boss something. Look it up. Alright, and my last category, the Sexploitation films. My favorite category. The nudie cuties, the roughies, I love them. Great fun. Well, I gotta go with the Russ Meyer film. Could have gone with any number of them. A lot of people's favorite is Cherry, Harry, and Raquel, and I can kind of get why. But my favorite is Super Vixens. Check it out. Super fun. Next one, more modern sexploitation filmmaker Andy Sedaris, Hard Ticket to Hawaii. These movies are great fun. It's kind of like if a Playboy issue from the 80s just came to life. Number 3, British film, Au Pair Girls. It's kind of a weird movie, and parts of it I don't like very much, but parts of it I like a lot. But if you want to see sort of a British humor take on a sex comedy, check out Au Pair Girls. The Young Seducers, Part 2. I picked this one because it has Ingrid Steeger in it, who is a German actress who is in loads of sexploitation films, and she's pretty cool. So check this out. Alright, and the last one, I'm going to go with The Cheerleaders. This movie is made of TNA. Interestingly, one of the producers of the film didn't think it would work because they didn't think anyone would be attracted to cheerleaders because they're supposed to be so young. Man, did that guy not have his finger on the pulse of America. Alright, there you go. 5 exploitation categories, 5 films in each category, 10 movies you can watch now to get a little exploitation education.